Do
It
it.
was a good and be so wonderful. Do live life, breathe air. I'm sorry. It's stuck in my head. Let's keep
Yes.
going.
All right, all right, all right. Happy Wellness Wednesday, everyone. We hope you are feeling well and wealthy today. And we're back with another live. Woo-hoo. Insert theme music and let us get started. So, again, my name is Xavian Tate. I am the CEO of Light of the World, and I'm going to let my wonderful business partners introduce themselves.
Well, if you insist. Hi, my name is Devon Goodwin. I am the CAO, the Creative Arts Officer of Light of the World Incorporation. I'm responsible for all the art, including Xavian's background. Proceed.
Awesome. Will.
Hello, my name's Will. I'm an intern for Light of the World LLC, and I look forward to this chat tonight.
Awesome. And then also we have our Chief Business Officer, Daniel Washington. He's occupied right now, but he is on the live as well. So today's topic is boundaries and attachments and how they can affect your relationships. So y'all know how this goes. It's something new every single live, but let's hop into it. I want to know y'all thoughts. What does boundaries mean to you?
Well, I'm glad you asked. There are two types of boundaries. I think of either personal boundaries, like get out of my bubble unless I've invited you, or social boundaries, like things that you don't want to talk about, things you're uncomfortable talking about, and saying, no, I don't want to talk about it. That's where we're leaving it.
Nice. Anybody else?
Do 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 do
Do,
do
do.
do 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 do.
Did Will freeze?
Yes.
I think Will froze. But
All right. Well, let's keep it moving, shall we?
yes, that is perfectly fine. It's all right. So the wonderful definition of boundaries is the dividing line that marks the end of one area and the start of a new area. Boundaries are the rules and regulations that you have for yourself on how others should treat you. I personally call this your bread and butter, and also I also love to call it your personal handbook. So in this wonderful life of ours, everyone has a handbook. And the handbook consists of our name, our date of birth, our social security, our morals, our values, our triggers, and our boundaries and non-negotiables. So that is your personal handbook. So with boundaries. And with boundaries, it is very broad, but there are a lot of boundaries. You have physical boundaries, you have intellectual, mental boundaries, you have emotional boundaries, you have sexual boundaries, and you have time boundaries. So definitely I want to open up with you. Like, do you have any what are your boundaries?
Oh, okay. Well, just like I was saying earlier, answering the question involving what do you think boundaries are? I have a physical boundary. If I have not, invited you into what I call my bubble, my little space, that's my boundary. unless I've invited you, don't get near me. That includes like anybody, like friends, family, new people, coworkers, the whole 9 yards. Let's see. Certain topics like weight, or even in some cases, unless I'm educating, I don't really want to talk about suicide. Or let's see. I think that's pretty much it that I can think off the top of my head. That's more of my social / emotional boundaries. I don't want to talk about it. It's just not something I enjoy talking about. I can get triggered to a degree. So those are my boundaries as of right now that I know of.
Love it. Thank you for sharing, Devin. So I have my boundaries are more mental and emotional because I am an emotional mental being and I'm very proud of it. So one thing I have learned to communicate with my friends and everyone I come in contact with, I have to, I love before you ask me something that's heavy or you tell me something that's extremely heavy, I want you to ask me, do I have mental capacity? Because I have my own stuff going on that could be drastic, and hearing some more drastic news could like bring my mood down. So ask me, do I have mental capacity? And another version of that is, do I have the mental energy? And then I'll either tell you yes and you can proceed, or I will tell you no, give me a few minutes so I can finish doing what I am doing, and then I can give you my undivided attention. So that is my first one, my mental boundary. I have emotional boundaries. So I am an extreme extrovert. I love putting out energy. I am an energizer bunny, and me knowing this, I know I can not only I can energize you, but there are times I can overwhelm you. And I do not want to overwhelm you. So instead of telling me to calm down, when you tell me to calm down, it really sounds condescending and dismissive. So instead of saying calm down, we use the code word. No, but we use the code phrase, are you being passionate right now? And that goes for like all emotions. So that goes for
Are you being overexcited at the moment?
like, yes.
Are you just happy about this subject?
Like, yes. And this also even works for when you're feeling angry, because even when you're angry, you're still being passionate about the topic, because otherwise, why else would you be angry? So we love to, me and the others always love to tell each other, are you being passionate right now? And that code phrase will remind us to be more aware, and we will calm down in a more positive way. So yes. So
I would like to say, though, this is not true for everybody. This is just true for some people. Some people will not grasp that concept. They might think of it as a negative thing.
Yes, that is true. Thank you for that, Devin. Yay.
You're welcome. Cultural differences.
Yes. So as we go along, we know boundaries have different traits. So Devin, can you name a trait or two that boundaries have?
Are you referring to the different types?
Yes, they're also called traits as well.
Okay, well, porous. Hello, I am porous.
So
porous in a nutshell is just oversharing. That's like the big thing with porous. Imagine it like, here's a cup and that's the person. Here's me, full glass. I am pouring entirely too much and it starts overflowing. That's kind of like porous. That's how I like to mentally and visually imagine it.
So yes, that is porous. How I characterize porous. Porous means you are too involved in other people's life, and then this could also cause codependency and people pleasing. So I am a music person, so a song that I thought of was the Manhattans, There's No Me Without You. And even though that's not what the song means, it means something totally different. That's what I interpreted the song, because if there's no me without you, then we have a problem. We have an issue. That means I cannot function without without you, but I have to be able to function without you. And as we go along, porous boundaries include oversharing personal information, difficulty saying no to the request of others. They're over involved with others' problems. They're dependent on the opinions of others, accepting of abuse or disrespect, and they fear rejection if they do not comply with others. However, on the opposite side of porous, you have rigid boundaries. And rigid boundaries means distance, solo mission, pride, very prideful, or in music terms, Rihanna's song Desperado. Those are rigid boundaries. And rigid boundaries are you avoid intimacy in close relationships. You are unlikely to ask for help. You have few close relationships. You're very protective of personal information, and you may seem detached even with romantic partners. And you keep others at a distance to avoid the possibility of rejection. So you have porous boundaries where you're too involved, and you have rigid boundaries where you're not involved at all. And then we have healthy boundaries, a nice balance. Yes, we have healthy boundaries where you value your own opinions, you don't compromise values for others, you share personal information in an appropriate way and does not over and undershare. You know your person wants and needs and can communicate them. And you accept when others say no to them. And we do understand some relationships differ. Our relationships differ from person to person. Because there are times we have rigid boundaries with some people, and we have porous boundaries with other people. And we're human, and that is fine. But what we try to strive for are healthy boundaries. Keep that safe haven, keep us wonderfully balanced. So I want to know, Devon,
yes,
and everyone else, can you recall a time when someone did not respect your boundaries? How did you react, and how did you feel?
I do recall a time, although I cannot disclose the information, HIPAA. So it was at work, it was a situation, and somebody did not respect my personal boundaries, and I got very upset at them. And I told somebody higher up, and ever since then they respected said boundaries ish, kind of, at least the physical boundaries. Verbal boundaries, no, they still kept agging on, and it was a lot. But ultimately I kind of felt like powerless in a way, because somebody stepped over my physical boundaries, got in my bubble. I had not invited this person into my bubble. Which, I mean, I don't really invite a lot of people into it unless you're close to me. But it just powerless, upset, not validated, not respected, that sort of thing.
I'm sorry. I love. Also, I hate that you felt powerless, but I'm glad you were able to work through it and you were able to have your boundaries fully respected because you deserve for your boundaries to be respected and be loved. For me, I will on um I will honestly say you and I had butt heads. So you and I had
When have we not butt heads? I mean, realistically.
I mean, that is true, but when we actually started getting to know each other and like we was telling each other about boundaries, the information he was giving me was causing me sensory overload, and you wasn't trying to. You were just being you, my my mental and emotional boundaries were leaking, and when when they weren't respected, it really overwhelmed me. Like it overwhelmed me, and I honestly had to take a break so I can collect my thoughts and like filter everything that was said, and
I
then
get
come
that.
back. Yes, and then come back to you and explain what happened, and then you received what I wanted. I firmly communicated what I need, what my boundaries, what I need from you, and we've been going. Let's call it. We got it right, and we've been going strong ever since. Good friendship,
That's
yay!
what I noticed about my kind of boundaries. Like, well, speaking of the same situation, first off, I apologize for past me. Past me was in a place. Just that's as good as it's gonna get. I've noticed with like, especially with my boundaries, porous boundaries, once we get comfortable with somebody, we're like, oh my gosh, this person, I trust them, I like them. They must know any and everything about me and any and everything that I am thinking as of right now, and go. You know?
Mm,
So at that time, I remember we were getting close. I'm like, he understands what I'm going through. He understands all these things. I must tell him everything that is in my brain that I've been cooping up. Let's just open the locked door and let the animals be free.
those-
So,
that's and
that
that
being
is
said,
understandable.
though, I realized where I went wrong. I should have showed you everything in time, not at one time.
So like yes, and that's all right. It's okay. That's why we grow. We grow as we go, like our friend Ben Platt says. Well, sings. So we grow as we go. We fall down and we get back up. So
You're Evan Hansen.
yes. So as we are wrapping up boundaries, and how they are important, here's we want to take a nice left into Devon's corner and talk about how boundaries play a part in attachment styles. So, Devon, take it away with attachments.
Take it away, Ern. Anywho, Harry Potter joke, so sorry. So yes, boundaries, while they are super duper important, depending on what kind of boundaries you have, can affect your attachment styles or how you form relationships with other people. So to start that off, we have the attachment theory. This theory was made by John, I think it was Balby. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Bow and B. We'll put it together. Anywho, it is a psychological and evolutionary, as well as ethological theory, which concerns relationships between human beings or among human beings. That is just the theory that attachment came through. Now, Mary Ainsworth, she actually developed the different types of attachment styles back in the 60s and the 70s. So, this was mostly for infants at the time, up in like when it was first mentioned, the attachment theory. and the styles mostly attained towards infants. Well, in the 1980s, they finally expanded it into adults because, as you know, as children, we develop different attachments. We learn everything in infancy as is. But that being said, we do also develop our relationships that follow us into adulthood. So, that being said, there are 4 different patterns or styles for attachments. Let's start with the easiest one. Xavian, we're going to talk about yours first. Secure attachment. This is the one, if you have attachment styles of any kind, you want to have this one. Think of it as like, here's all these rusty cars, and there's the beautiful one right there. You want that beautiful one. Am I right?
Yes.
You want it. So we're going to be secure in our attachments. So according to MPG Therapy, this lovely website that I came across today, it refers to secure attachment style refers to the ability to be secure in a loving relationship with others. You can trust people / be trusted by other people. You can love and accept love from other people, and you can get close to people easily. Like there's no issue when you get close to people. Like, for example, Xavian, he meets somebody new. By the end of the day, they are no longer new. You already know them. He shares love. He gives love. He can trust people. Granted, yes, he's not going to throw it around and flaunt it like his trust, but it's not super hard to give out eventually once you get to know the person. And you get close to people, which in the long run, as an adult, that helps with your connections. This is why this man is literally a bag full of connections. So, that being said, right now, we are sitting at 56% of adults have this type. I'm going to let you know before we continue, this is the biggest population we have. So, now we move on to me, anxious attachment styles. In a nutshell, this attachment style is marked by a deep fear of abandonment. We tend to be insecure about our relationships, worry that our partner will leave us or other people, friends included, and we are always hungry for validation. We must be validated in any and everything we do. We are usually seen as needy. I'm sure you can attest to that. I'm quite needy and clingy. Anytime you get obsessed with somebody, you're constantly clingy. You're in a new relationship and you're like, please stay with me. Please, I beg of you. I love you. Constantly. It's also shown that people with this attachment style are constantly looking at their phones, like, who's going to text me back? When are they going to text me back? When are they going to call me? When are they going to do this? When are they going to do that? They haven't told me they loved me today. They don't love me anymore. That sort of thing. They fear that one day their partner or their friends, family members, mostly partners in this aspect, they're going to be like, hey, this person sucks. Bye. I'm gone. Peace. Right now, 19% of people have this type of style. It is the 3rd biggest category of our 4. Moving on. We have the avoidant attachment style. Just avoidant because there are two types of avoidance, but we'll get into the second type in a minute. So avoidant. That is a fear of intimacy. These type of people, they have trouble getting close to others or trusting others in relationships. So trust issues is the big thing in theirs. And because they have such trust issues, they can't get close to people. They won't allow themselves to get close to people. And if they're in a relationship with a partner or a friendship or what have you, they sometimes can often feel suffocated in that relationship. Even if the person's not suffocating them, they could still feel suffocated. which then leads to maintaining distance from their partners or largely emotionally unavailable to their partners. They would be that person that would be ghosting you out of nowhere, just keeping their distance because